we're moving on now to leadership actions for directors and board members, and on to some guidance from the HSE and the Institute of Directors in a document called INDG 417. So that's joint guidance. Some of the main things to take out of this guidance is strong and active leadership from the top. As we can see, they're visible, committed, downward comms, it's consultation as well. That's a big part of ISO 45001 as well, leadership and worker participation. That's the worker involvement piece you can see coming out there. And also, obviously, within that, we've got high quality training as well. Assessment and review. Identifying and managing risks are the main requirement of a health and safety management system, if you think of that. As we can see there, it moves through identifying, through following competent advice, that's your Regulation 7 of the management regs, and into your monitoring, reporting and reviewing. So your plan, do, check, act. So you can see the plan, do, check, act sequence all the way through that guidance there. Back to the top, those three main elements. There's the policy, the statement, the responsibilities, your arrangements. It's about knowing duties as well. So that's really important for strong and active leadership, especially if you're doing construction work, as we can see there, because there may be a requirement for specific duties, if there's more than one contractor, and all must check, as we can see there. And doing that verification of competence, that due diligence, that's going to be mandated from the top. More often than not, that's a weaker area within organisations. If you've got an ISO standard, usually your arms are twisted to do it, of course, which makes sense. But those who have a sort of risk management mind will realise the risk from contractors, and that will be active. You will be doing that for a targeted reason. Through down to the centre, worker involvement, getting those meetings and engaging contractors. If you've got contractors coming onto your site, that's really important that they follow the safety precautions that are already on your site. That competence, as we can see, high quality training there. That's your skills, your knowledge, your ability, your training, your experience. Really important to make sure that people have the educational tools, or not just that, or just the experience, but make sure those guys have, when the guys are doing the work, they must be competent to do the work, especially obviously in the health and safety risks. Moving to the bottom, risk assessments. That could be risk assessments and method statements. Quite a specific term generally used in the construction industry, but it's good. What does it mean? The risk assessment, but also the method. How are we going to do the job? So how are we going to do the job safely? So assessment and review. Moving into the middle one down the bottom there, competent advice. You may need to bring a consultant in. I bring consultants in when I need a consultant. So that's not a problem whatsoever. It's just ensuring the information that we've got is from a competent source. And then that monitoring and reporting. So what evidence we are gathering. We are observation, document review, interview, which is the requirements of an internal auditor under 19,011. But that's really important, isn't it? To check where we are. Plan, do, check, so we can act on it and we can improve. So that document 417, it's not a huge document, but those are the three main things that come out of it. Now, what I will always recommend is that as the head of an organisation, there is a method of placing all of those requirements into a manual. I will always recommend a manual. That gives us somewhere to refer to. It gives us somewhere we can evaluate. It gives us something we can update. It gives us something we can communicate out to people and consult out to people, because we can get consultation. We can use it as a consultative tool, i.e. that we get feedback. Okay, so that slide seemed to go okay. What are we doing next? Leadership characteristics.